I honestly hate Instagram right now, and I'm still going to keep posting on the platform every single day. That probably sounds crazy. Why would I waste my time on a platform that frustrates the life out of me? Why would I keep feeding content to an algorithm that seems to be designed to work against creators like us? But here's the thing most people don't understand about building a business online. Sometimes the platform isn't the point, the practice is. Let me tell you what I mean and why this might be the most important business lesson you hear this year. 3 months ago, I was having the worst stretch ever on Instagram. And I'm talking about the platform, I'm talking about a platform where I worked my butt off, my tail off to grow my following. I spent years building relationships, engaging with people, creating content that my audience loved. I feel like I had a solid community of people who wanted to hear from me, buy from me, all of that. Then Instagram decides to completely change the game in algorithm completely. They switch to this interest based algorithm that doesn't care if people follow you. Your content only goes out to people they think might be interested in it, regardless of whether those people choose to follow you or not. So here I am talking to people who deliberately took the time out to hit the follow button because they want to hear what I have to say, my content. And Instagram says, no, we're going to show your post to random strangers instead. Meanwhile, your actual followers, the people who chose to be in your community, they're not seeing any of it. It's beyond frustrating and infuriating, in my opinion. I had two choices: quit and complain about Instagram like everyone else in my industry, including me. I'm not gonna lie, I did it at some point. Or keep showing up and figure out how to turn this frustration into fuel. I chose option two after I chose option one, if I'm gonna be honest. And what happened next changed how I really think about everything in business. See, while I was angry about Instagram's reach, something else was happening. I was getting really good at something I didn't even realize I was even learning in the moment. I was mastering hooks. When you know your content might only get seen by a handful of people, you get obsessed with making those first 3 seconds count. You learn to grab attention instantly. You study what makes people stop scrolling and what makes them just keep going. I started testing hook after hook. Some failed miserably, and it's not just verbal hooks. It's visual hooks also. But some failed miserably, some others took off, but every single one taught me something about human psychology and attention. Then I started applying those same hooks to my YouTube, to my emails, subject lines, to my sales conversation, and literally in every part of my business. And suddenly everything got better. My YouTube videos started performing better. My emails got higher opening rates. My sales calls became just more engaging and enjoyable, actually, which is weird. That's when it hit me. Instagram wasn't really failing me, it was training me. As much as I don't even want to admit it. let, let me back up and give you some context about why this matters so much for where we are today and where I am today. 5 years ago, I was a brand photographer. I was good at it. I made decent money, but I felt completely boxed in. I knew there was more to me, there was more to my calling, but I was scared to honestly just make that jump. God kept nudging me towards this idea of helping other entrepreneurs build personal brands, teaching what I'd learned, coaching people through the same transformation I was going through. But I kept making excuses. The photography business was safe, the money was good, it was predictable. I knew how to do it. Finally, I couldn't ignore the calling anymore. I made the pivot, started creating content, and about personal brandings. I started sharing my story, started building my own personal brand really, and helping people build theirs. That transition taught me something crucial about how success really works. It's not about finding the perfect platform or the perfect strategy. It's about developing skills that transfers across everything you do. The hook writing skills I developed, fighting Instagram's algorithm, they became the foundation of every piece of content I create now. The storytelling abilities I sharpened while trying to figure out how to connect with my audience who really weren't even following me, those became the core of my coaching mythology and how I teach my students. The resilience I built posting daily, even with nobody seeming to care, that became the backbone of my entire business philosophy. Here's what most entrepreneurs I feel like get wrong about platform frustration. They think a bad algorithm means they should quit. They think low reach means the platform is dead. They think struggling on one channel means they should jump into another business. But skilled entrepreneurs think differently. They understand that every platform is it's just a training ground. Every frustration is just a chance to develop skills that can compound over time if you allow it to. Think about it this way. Right now, while everyone is complaining about Instagram algorithm, you could be getting better at the one skill that matters most in any business. That's the ability to capture and keep people's attention. You could be working on that right now. Every reel you post where you nail the hook, you're getting better at opening sales conversations. Every story where you connect emotionally with your viewers, you're getting better at building relationships with clients. Every carousel where you break down complex ideas and make them real simple to understand, you're getting better at teaching and positioning yourself as an expert. The entrepreneurs who understand this are building skills while their competition is switching platforms back and forth, starting all over. Like, I don't see the point of doing that. I post daily reels even when they barely seem to get views because each one makes me sharper. I'm mixing in carousels now because, it seems to be performing better on a flat platform, but also because they're teaching me to organize my thoughts differently. Every piece of content is practice. Every post is preparation for the breakthrough that's eventually going to happen on whatever platform you choose to focus on. For me, I'm talking about Instagram here. And here's the thing about breakthroughs. They don't come when everything is working perfectly. They come when you've just been consistent long enough to be ready for them. Maybe Instagram fixes their algorithm next month and suddenly your content reaches your followers again. If you quit posting, you miss that wave. If you stayed consistent, your position to capitalize on it would be right there. Maybe TikTok becomes more of a dominant business platform next year. If you've been sharpening your hook writing skills on Instagram, you're going to be ready for whatever shift that happens on these platforms. You're not going to need to start from zero. Maybe YouTube decides to start prioritizing short form content. In my opinion, that's what seems to be happening. If you've been practicing posting daily, you can pivot immediately and have a plethora of content to post on YouTube Shorts. If you've been avoiding short form content, you're going to end up just being behind. This is how you build a magnetic personal brand that survives these platforms and these algorithm changes. You focus on developing transferable skills instead of chasing platform specific tactics. Let me give you another example of how this plays out in real business situations. Last month, I had a potential client who found me through a reel that got maybe 100 views, not really great numbers by any measures. But that reel demonstrated my ability to break down complex concepts into simple, actionable insights. That ended up being a client investing over $5,000 into working with me for one-on-one for over a year. And it was not because the reel went viral, but because the reel showed I understood how to communicate value clearly. The skills I developed fighting Instagram's algorithm directly translated into a five-figure sale. That's the power of treating these platforms as practice ground instead of looking at them and and saying I need immediate results. Here's like another way to look at it. Every successful entrepreneur I know has a story about the work they did when nobody was watching, the content they created when no one was applauding them and they had no audience, the skills they developed when the results were terrible. That work wasn't wasted, it was just preparation. Like Michael Jordan, one of my favorite basketball players of all time, got cut from his high school basketball team. He could have quit and played a different sport and said, "Man, this ain't it." Instead, he used that rejection as fuel to get practiced when no one else was watching, nobody cared. He developed the skills and eventually made him the greatest basketball player of all time in my opinion, right? And that should be your opinion too. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. Stop playing. Anyway, let's back to the video. Your Instagram frustration right now might be the rejection that's forcing you to get good at your craft. And it's going to help you become undeniably better everywhere else you apply those skills. The question isn't whether Instagram algorithms fair. The question is whether you're going to let the algorithm changes derail your progress, or are you going to use them as motivation to level up your skill? I'm personally choosing to level up even when it's frustrating, even when the reach is terrible, even when it feels like I'm talking to myself half of the time, because I know that every hook I write is making me better at capturing attention and getting people's keeping people's attention, not just getting people's attention, but keeping people's attention. And every piece of value I share is making me better at positioning myself as the guide people truly need. Your competition is quitting because they think they don't need to do this right now because of how hard it is. They're jumping from platform to platform looking for easy wins. They're waiting for the perfect algorithm and the perfect audience and just perfect timing. But perfect timing does not exist. Perfect platform doesn't exist. The perfect algorithm doesn't exist. What does exist is your willingness to get better regardless of the circumstances. What exists is your commitment level to show up even when the results aren't immediately obvious. That's what separates entrepreneurs who are building lasting, successful brands versus entrepreneurs who are just having shiny object syndrome. So, yes, I hate the algorithm very much, right? But I'm also taking the time out to learn what I need to learn and grow myself. Yes, it's frustrating working hard on content that doesn't reach people who chooses to follow me, but I'm still showing up every single day because I understand that this frustration is just temporary, but the skills I am building are permanent. And when the next breakthrough comes, when the algorithm shifts, when the new opportunity appears, I'll be ready, not because I got lucky, which is what a lot of people be thinking happens to people, but because I stayed consistent when it was hard. That's how you build a magnetic personal brand. That's how you turn your expertise into influence and income. That's how you create something that lasts beyond any single platform or algorithm change. If this resonates with you, if you're building your own personal brand or you want to connect with other entrepreneurs who are looking to grow and understand and play the long game, join my community. Check it out below. We talk about strategies like this every day. And more importantly, we support each other through the frustrating times like this. when results are not showing up. The link is in the description. Check it out. And if you're ready to take this serious, if you want me to help you build a personal brand that attracts your dream clients and grow and scale your business, your income, apply to work with me below. The link is below. I look forward to helping and working with any one of you. So let's get into it. Let's lock in. I believe in you. Here is my challenge for you this week. Pick one platform that's frustrating you right now. Instead of complaining about it or just abandoning it, ask yourself, what skills could you be developing right now to stay consistent? Maybe it's storytelling. Maybe it's getting better at writing hooks. Maybe it's building authentic connections. Maybe it's learning complex concepts and making them simple. Then commit to showing up every day for the next 30 days and get better. You'll see your skills improve. And don't worry about the immediate results. Focus on getting better at the craft. I guarantee you that 30 days from now, you'll be completely different creator. And those skills will pay dividends in everything you do and in every platform you choose to work on. What platform are you going to choose? Drop in the comments below. Let me know, what are you trying to do and what's your playbook. We can hold each other accountable. I look forward to helping you and working with you. Thanks for watching. And I said thanks for walking. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.